Hey, great kid. Now it's time for a little bit of writing, right? You need to practice those little fingers of yours. You need to do a little bit of writing too. So today I'm going to introduce you to the descriptive kind of writing. Boys, girls, you did not send me any of your pictures of your persuasive writing. Please, if you did the homework, if you did the persuasive writing homeworks, please click the pictures and send it to Miss Farah, and Miss Farah will send it to me. I will get it, and girls also Miss I don't know will get your writing. So please, grade 3 students, do your homework, the persuasive writing homework, complete it and send it to me. Okay? Now today I will introduce you to descriptive writing. Now, what is a descriptive writing? When you tell your friends what something is like, you are describing it. When you using your senses, when you describing what something looks like, smell like, feel like, taste like, you are describing it. You already know about the words that we call adjectives. Adjectives are words that describe people, places, animals, and things. So you know that word describing means using adjectives to make a clear picture of something. So, one more time, when you are describing something, you are telling or writing how something looks like, smell like, taste like, feel like, and sound like. You are using all of your senses to describe it. Here on the picture, I have a girl describing to her friends. My house is very big. It has many rooms. My room is the best. It has pink walls. I have a huge bed with a pink blanket on it. The walls are covered with many colorful pictures. I love my room. See, she is describing what does her room look like. So, when you're describing something, you are using as many adjectives as you can, okay? As many adjectives as you can because it is descriptive writing. Let's go to the next one. Now, when you're doing a descriptive writing, you are trying to make a clear picture. So the person who reads your writing, he will imagine in his mind, he will create the picture in his mind. When he reads your writing, he will create the picture that you are describing in his mind. That's why we also call a description a word picture. It is a word picture. The picture described by words, like here in this paragraph. Let's read it with me. On my walk in the countryside, I saw amazing fields of yellow flowers. I could smell the fresh air everywhere. The trees were tall and green. The bees were buzzing all around. I could hear the birds chirping. Somewhere in the distance, I even heard the woodpecker peck on the trees. The clouds above were fluffy and white. It was an amazing view. So as you can see, this paragraph, when you read it through, you are just like imagining in your mind. If you didn't see this picture, if you covered that picture that is here, if you cover that picture, but read only the paragraph, you will imagine in your mind that someone is in the countryside and you would see, just close your eyes and you would see yellow flowers. You can smell them everywhere. You would imagine a tall green trees everywhere and the bees buzzing and birds chirping, and somewhere in the distance you can hear the woodpecker. This is all a picture that you create in your mind when you're reading this kind of a writing. And your job when you're writing a description is to make the description as clear as possible so the reader can imagine what your picture looks like, what the description is like. So here is one more thing. When you're writing a clear description that it which will help the other people to create a picture in their mind, you need to use your senses. You need to describe what something look like, taste like, smell like, feel like, and sound like. Sometimes you have to take out the taste part, because that is usually used only when you're writing description of a food, because you can taste it. But sometimes you can use also, well, so yeah. Here is an example. Look at the example. Some flowers are tall plants. They have large green leaves. They have thick, long stem that supports them well. Sunflowers have amazing and beautiful flowers with yellow petals and brown seeds forming a big circle in the middle. This is the description of the flower, sunflowers. Again, don't forget, when you want to describe something, you describe using all senses. What it looks like: it is tall, it has green leaves, it is large, long stem, taste, no, smell, they smell amazing, but here, beautiful flowers, amazing flowers. How does it feel? Doesn't say, but you can use more description words. Now I will have a look through some adjectives, but after this important part, your writing must start with a title, please. The title is at the top of the page, and it tells the reader what is your writing about. It is the name of your story. So when you're doing your writing, please start with the title now. And very important thing, do not forget to start your writing with a good beginning sentence and finish your writing with a good ending sentence. So that is also very important. Now I'm going to the adjectives, please. When you are describing things with adjectives, you're describing smell, taste, hearing, the sound, how something looks like. So you're describing the sight, and touch, how something feels. Here are a few adjectives that you can use. For example, smell. If you are in some place and you want to describe how it smells, you can say it smells fishy, minty, fresh, flowery, perfumed, or stinky. When you're describing a taste of something, you can describe that it tastes milky, spicy, sugary, sweet, hot, delicious. This is the adjectives for taste. Not all, few only. For hearing, you can describe that you can hear banging sound, cracking sound, barking sound, crashing sound, laughing, or the place or person is quiet, noisy, or the place could be buzzing. So these are adjectives for describing the sounds. How something look like. It can be beautiful, bright, sandy, gigantic, tidy, lovely, shiny, clean. These are only few adjectives to describe how something look. And touch, how something feel. When you touch something, it can be soft, fluffy, warm, hot, dry, wet, bumpy, or smooth. So one more time, when you're writing a description, you are describing something, and you are using your senses to describe it. So you will describe how something smells, taste, how something sound, how something look like, and how something feels like when you touch it. Now you can describe people, you can describe places, animals, things, you can describe anything. And today we will start our description with my favorite season. You know what is a season? It's a part of the year, and we have 4 seasons. We have spring, summer, fall, and winter. I have decided to give you as an example the description of the fall because I come from the country where fall is just amazing and I just loved fall when I was a child. So I decided to describe the fall. Why? I love to walk home from school when I was your age and collect lots of colorful leaves, and then I went back home and I just made so many arts using the leaves, and I put them in the vase and I glued them on the papers. I just loved the color of the leaves and the amazing view of the mountains with the colorful leaves. It's just what we call a breathtaking. So I decided to show you how to write a description describing my favorite season. And my favorite season is the fall. And let's have a look. What do you see in the fall? I'm going to start with the parts when you are outside in the fall. What would you see? What is the sight that you are able to have? I can see the trees with the colorful leaves. That's a first and very important thing. I can see the leaves that are orange, yellow, brown, red, amazing colors of leaves. I can also see leaves covering the ground, and that is the most important thing because when I was your age and we were in the school, we had to, in the free time or PE time, rake the leaves in the fall. And it was fun, actually, it was fun. What else can you see in fall? You can see the wet ground because fall is the season when it rains a lot. So you can see the wet ground and people are wearing warm clothes. So you can see people wearing warm clothes. Now I'm going to the second part. What can you hear in the fall? What can you hear? When you close your eyes and you imagine yourself standing in the forest or standing here on this road, when you are there in the fall, what could you hear? I could hear the leaves falling. I could hear the leaves rustling. You know what means rustling? When the leaves, the trees move with the wind, you can hear the sound of the leaves, which is the leaves rustling. And you can hear the sound of rain when it rains. That is the amazing sound, so peaceful and nice. And you can also you can hear birds chirping, especially early in the morning. They will wake you up because they want just not let people to sleep. So birds chirping in the fall, yes. Also in the spring, wow, every day. So birds chirping. Now, what do you smell in the fall? Again, I imagine myself standing here on that picture and close my eyes and take a deep breath and think, what can I smell? Of course, you can smell the fresh air. You know, the air that comes from the fresh, wet ground. You can smell it. You don't have a words to describe it, but it's a fresh air. Sometimes it could be a dry or crisp air because it is sometimes dry and like when there is no rain, especially, it gets too dry and crisp. And I like the moist air, especially after the rain. You can smell the wet, you can feel the wet ground, and you can smell the moist air, the wet air. So this is what you smell, or at least what I could smell when I was your age and I was home in the fall. So these are the three senses. What can you see? What can you hear? And what can you smell? Now, that's the same. Here we have more pictures of fall. What do you feel when you are outside? I can feel, of course, the warm, cold air. So you can see that people are wearing the warm clothes. I can feel the soft leaves. When you touch the leaves, they are so soft and I love them. Look at that color. And what do you do in the fall? Now, when you're describing the season, I know this is not the sense that you should describe, but you cannot describe the taste. You cannot taste the season. So instead of that, you can describe what do you love to do during that season. I love to do, as I told you, to rake the leaves. And girls and boys, we used to make the piles of leaves. So I love to make the piles of leaves, and then we jumped into the piles and had lots of fun. But I also love the smell. I love to smell the fresh air after rain. That is also the best thing about the fall. So the fall is my favorite season because it's just because all of my senses, they I just love it. So that's my favorite season. Now, if I should go and do the writing, oh, yeah, one very important part. Why is this season your favorite? Because, as I told you, I love to smell the fresh air. Because I love to collect the leaves and make arts. Because I love the different colors of the leaves. And I just love the rainy season. So, these are the reasons why is this season my favorite. You can include it also in your writing, and especially in your ending sentence. You can say, I love this season because I love to smell the fresh air after rain. Or you can write the sentence, I love fall because I love to collect leaves and make arts in fall. So you can use this part, why is the season your favorite, as the ending of your writing, as an ending sentence. Now we will go to my writing. Here is my writing. My favorite season. My favorite season is fall. That's my beginning sentence. Now I'm going to describe what do I see in the fall. In fall, the trees have different colors. Some leaves are red, orange, yellow. Some leaves are brown or light green. The fields are covered with leaves on the ground. See, this is what I see in the fall. I will not include all of the details from the box which I wrote in there because my writing would be too long. So I will choose just the most important details from the box. You can do that as well. You can write as many details as you want, and then you can choose the best ones for your writing. So I decided to use only these details to describe what I see in the fall. Now I'm going to describe what I hear in the fall. The sound of rustling leaves swirling in the wind is soothing and amazing. But the sound of rain is much better. The birds are chirping early in the morning each day in the fall. Here I described what do I hear in the fall. You can see that I described the sound of rustling leaves, the shh sound. When they are swirling and spinning in the wind, it is soothing. You know, soothing, it's like making you feel peaceful in your mind, and it feels also amazing. But the sound of rain is much better when you hear the drops fall down on the ground. That is much, much better. And also I hear the birds chirping early in the morning. Now I'm going to describe what I smell. I love the smell of fresh, moist air. I also love walking across the park and listen to the crunchy sound the leaves make under my feet. I feel cold in the cool air. So this is what I smell, fresh air. And then I just mentioned that I like walking in the park and listen to the crunchy sound when you step on the leaves, and that sound that you sound. I love that too. And I mentioned how I feel. I feel cold in the cool air. So I used all of my senses. What I see, what I hear, what I smell, and what I feel like in the fall. And here is the ending. I love to rake the leaves in the fall. I love the fall just because it is so colorful. That's the ending of my story. Now, as you can see, it will be your turn. Your turn to describe your favorite season. But because you do not have the worksheets, please use simple paper. Or if you have big A3 paper where you want to also draw the picture of your favorite season, you can draw a picture of your favorite season. What do you do in that season? And you can write about the season. But don't forget, you need to use all of your senses. What do you see during the season? What do you smell? What do you hear during the season? How do you feel? And why do you love this season? Why this season is so special for you? So please write your own writing on your own piece of paper. And then click the picture of your writing, please, and send it to Miss Farah. I promise you she will send it to me and to Miss Rana. So please, I am expecting your work as soon as possible. If you want to do your writing during the weekend, it's okay. Take your time. But as soon as you are done with your writing, please click the picture and send it to Miss Farah. And don't forget to write your name at the bottom of the page. I would like to say thank you to Mahmoud from grade 3B because he was the first one to send me his vocabulary homework. Thank you, Mahmoud. Please, I hope I will get more pictures of your work sent to Miss Farah and then to me. Thank you, all of you. Uh, take a pen and a paper and get to work. Start writing. I'll see you again. Bye bye.